So welcome everybody. I'm crazy excited you're here. My name is Michelle Withers, and I love that we have some new people on here. We have some people that have been hanging out with me. I have some people that are stalkers and in a good way. We have lots of different kinds of people on tonight. So welcome everybody. I live in a place called, it's in Southern Washington. It's where your apples are grown. Not by Seattle. Seattle doesn't grow your apples. Okay, it's this place down here in southern Washington. So my husband's in agriculture, so we live in agriculture land. So it's just way, when you think of Washington, this is desert land, isn't what you think of. We pull all the water off the Columbia, and he grows corn and all sorts of fun stuff. All right, so I love helping you have success. And we talked at the very beginning. Be sure and mute yourself, guys. We talked at the beginning a little bit about that motivational style. If you change the world, or money and titles, okay? And so it's really, really important when I say the words, I want to help you get the success you want, okay? It's so incredibly important that you replace that word success with whatever that means to you, okay? That doesn't mean I'm trying to make you a millionaire if you don't want to be a millionaire. It doesn't mean I'm trying to make you have this humongous team if you don't want to have a humongous team. If you want to bring in $500 extra a month, so let's do a little poll. How many of you are here because you keep your hand raised, okay? How many of you are here because you want an extra $500 a month? In income, not sales. Income. If you want an extra $750 a month, keep your hand raised. If you want an extra $1,000 a month, keep your hand raised. How about $1,250? Okay. How about $1,500? Let's just jump. How about $2,000? Who wants to bring in $2,000 a month? Okay. So who in May would like to bring in $3,000 or more and put it in their bank account, in their pocket, and that benefit their family? Okay, so those of you whose hands are still raised, like wave at me so I can see everybody. Okay, I want each one of you to tell me exactly what you would do with $3,500. Now, if it's just pay off a bill, you don't have to tell us what the bill is. If it's put money towards a boat, if it's pay for your child's college education, what is it? You need to know exactly where you want that money to go. Where do you want that money to go? Okay, Brooke, where's it going, girlfriend?
My daughter's, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I got it. My daughter's college education.
Cool, awesome. Okay, Miss Lisa, did you still have your hand raised? No? Okay, Elaine did. And I know Layla did. Elaine, where's that $3,500 going?
That's going to go to cars and mortgage and product to build the business.
Awesome. Layla, where's it going, girlfriend?
Convention. We have convention in August, and I want spending money and room money and money to get there. So
awesome. Ladies, please make sure you're muted. Who else was a 35 plus? Brandy, were you? Everybody's head moved around for a minute when new people come on. Who else was a 3,500? Anyone else? Oh, there we go. Latoya, darling. What's that 33,000 plus going to?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Oh. Okay. It will probably just go into a savings account for emergency purposes.
Awesome. I like it. And Lisa says car payment. Okay. So the first key to this is that you know exactly how much you want and where it's going to go. Because the likelihood of you accomplishing it is much lower if you don't know exactly what you want. Because if you claim you want $3,000 and you get going in your month and it starts to get kind of tough and you go, well, 2,000 would be good too. And you get going in your mouth like, well, 1,500 would be good too. Okay, I want you to want it. I want you to know that by the 7th of May, I got to be to, about 750, 800. I want you to know that by the 15th of May, you got to be at 1,500. I want you to know that by the 21st of May, you got to be, about $2,300. And then I want you to know that by the end of May, you got that $3,000 made. You see what I'm saying? Have any of you actually held yourself accountable and make sure and calculated that you're at that place every week of the month? Some of you might have. None of you? Okay. So Regina, am I saying that right? I might not. It's not an A on the end. I really hate when I say your name wrong, so I really am sorry. One gal raised her hand. So some of you have. But can you like feel how different that would be? Like, can you feel that you've got to set small goals? You've got to set that 7th, and then that 15th, and then that 21st, and then that 31st of the month goal. Can you see what I'm saying in like that grit? Okay, we're talking about grit tonight, ladies. We are not talking about, it'd be fun to post on Facebook. No, I am talking about a plan. Okay, so let me ask you this. How many has worked a job for somebody else? Anybody been employed by somebody else? Has anybody not been employed by somebody else? Okay, so anytime, 14, 15, 16, 26, 31, I don't care, anytime in your life. Okay, when you did that, you figured out what time you're going to get up. You figured out what clothes you're going to wear. If you had children at the time, you figured out what the kids were going to be doing, like if they're not old enough to take care of themselves, right? You may have figured out what was going to be for dinner that night. You made plans. You set alarms. You bought food. You took care of business, right? And then you went to work and you worked the whole time. You were there, whether it was a 4-hour shift, 8-hour shift, 12-hour shift. You may have had a lunch. You may have talked to a girlfriend for a few minutes, and then you worked, right? What if you put that much deliberate effort into your business? Think about that for a minute, okay? I love this, Brooke. She gives me lots of feedback. That's why I do it this way. I've got to switch to the other ones because we get so full, but I love seeing your faces, okay? There is hope to making real money at this. And I'm telling you, if you're wondering what your leaders are doing to make money, they make the time, they plan for it, and they're working their butt off. There is no golden ticket to this. Can you hang on 1 second? I'm really sorry. So sorry. Hang on. What? I'm so sorry, but I'm in a business meeting. Sorry about that. Someone at the door and the little kids are like, Mom, someone's here. Okay, so, okay, let me get my thoughts. Okay, so the whole idea of making sure you work as hard as you would for someone else is what we're going to talk more about tonight, okay? We're going to talk about grit, but do you feel the hope in this? When I tell you an activity, I want you to feel a great deal of hope, okay? Because it's exciting what you can accomplish. It's crazy exciting. You see the other gals in your company, and some of you might be one of those, because I don't know y'all personally. Some people in this business, they're making $5,000, $10,000, $30,000, even $40,000 a month, okay? And it all comes down to planning your time, being consistent, and I'm going to give you some tips on that tonight. Who's excited? Who's ready to raise the roof? Okay? All right, so just remember, you've got to have very specific goals for your sales. Now, we've been talking about putting income in your pocket. One of the first things I did was ask you, what is your sales goals for the month? Now, Brooke. Brooke was my 3,000. Kate, were you 3,000 too? No? Okay. So, Brooke, what company are you with? I'm just going to use you as my example.
One Hope Wines.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, I'm not familiar with that compensation plan. You can lie to me, okay? Would 25% be somewhere close to your commission on sales? You can.
Well, if I sell 1,500, I make 25%.
Okay, so 1,500. So to make 3,000 just in sales, you would need to do 12,000 in personal sales, correct? Okay, see what I'm saying, ladies? Okay, so most of you make anywhere from 20, 30, sometimes 40%, depending on the product or how much you sell of it. But you need to know exactly how much you do in sales. Now, some of you have teams, which I know some of you do. Be sure and keep yourselves muted, ladies. If you have a team, you first minus that off the top if you know you're going to make some money off your team. So let's just say, for example, I have no idea.
I'm home early.
Guys,
It's okay. It's all right.
hang on.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Alrighty. So what happens is that, so for example, I don't know anything about you. I'm just using Brooke as an example, okay? So let's say Brooke knew she made $1,000 off her team, okay? So that brings her down to 2,000 from sales, which means she has to do 8,000 in sales, right? So if we're looking at it and we're dividing it over a 4-week period-ish, that means she's going to do 2,000 in sales every week. Did everybody follow that? I think really fast in math, and I take for granted that most women like read better than they do math, and I'm like this really bizarre opposite one. Okay, so I try to like. I'm sorry, just y'all spell way better than I do. So, but you see what I'm saying? If you know you want to make 2,000 to put in your pocket, basically. So if you make about 25%, you need to do as much in sales every week as you do want to put in your pocket. If you want to make 2,000 in the month, you need to do 2,000 in sales per week. That just hit me, okay? Did that make sense? So, Brooke, if it's all in sales, you want to make 3,000 a month, you got to do 3,000 per week. Wow, like I got to write that down, okay? I don't know why that had never hit me. Okay, do you see what I'm saying? So how easy is that to keep track of? Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about some time scheduling techniques and how to get that done. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is how to work in what's 2-hour blocks. Who of you is completely, not guilty, but, you know, who multitasks while they try to work their business? Guilty, right? Okay, and I mean more than just switching out a load of laundry, okay? Okay, now I want you to think for a minute. Does anybody just like covet uninterrupted time like me? I have 4 children that are part-time homeschooled. Can you imagine? And I work from home. So yeah, it's a little crazy sometimes. Okay, so if you can learn to set aside 2-hour blocks. Now this is the reason why 2 hours versus half an hour, 1 hour blocks, or total of time in the week. 2-hour blocks. What happens is when you sit down to work, you get your water bottle and you get your phone out and you got to get it charged and you got to get your notebook and your list of people and your catalog and your this and that, right? And there's like this prep time, and then when it's shutting down time, then you put the water bottle away and you go, you know, there's start and stop time with every time you work. So if there's start and stop time and you only work in 30-minute blocks, think about how much time is wasted, okay? So a 2-hour block, I am serious, like it will blow your brain if you will take this challenge on. Work a 2-hour block. And you train everybody around you to understand that this is work time. And unless the house is on fire, that was my rule. Only reason you get to interrupt me is if the house is on fire, okay? Dad has to figure it out. The kids can eat Cheerios on the floor. I don't care. Well, actually, I'll give you some better ideas than Cheerios on the floor, but house had to be on fire. That's the only reason you could interrupt me. So you sit down and you have your list. You know who your follow-up people are that you need to follow up, who have purchased, who your people are that are having parties. Okay, now the first things on the list must be income producing. Do you make money from posting really cute images on Facebook? No. If you try arguing with me, you're out, okay? You do not make money by making posts. Do any of you make really good money by making a really, really cute sign to put up at your expo on the weekend? No. Okay, the only thing that makes money is to actually communicate with people. Face-to-face, via text, heaven forbid you actually put this thing to your ear, but I know y'all don't. Messaging on Facebook, okay? You have to actually be having conversations. Now, when I started, the only option was this or face-to-face, but not this. I mean, like I had to put to my ear. That's the only way it worked, okay? Now you have about 16 other ways to do it. But the only thing that makes you money is when somebody says yes and puts in a debit card or credit card number, okay? Those are the only income producing activities. So the first things on the list have to be, unless you absolutely have nobody to talk to, which is a load of, don't even try to tell me you don't, okay? Past customers, future customers that you've met, hostesses that are in the works, hostesses that have said maybe, okay? Anyone you can book business with, follow up with, close deals that have said maybe, all those. That is your first activities on the list. And I promise you, your income earners, that is what they do, and that is what they spend 80% of their time doing. Did you hear that? Can you imagine if you flipped all your people finding time on Facebook, that you know you scrolled half of it, and I am guilty too, okay? If you took that time and actually were connecting with people, finding out their needs, if you've been on, who's been on my calls about asking questions, finding needs, closing deals, okay? If you're doing that, that is what's going to actually put money in your pocket. Now, I know some of you are saying, but I just want to help people. Okay, then reframe it and say, the only way I'm going to help people is if I'm actually talking to them. Okay, right? You can't help anyone you're not talking to. It's the only way. So if you're my change the world people who I love and adore, then say that, okay? Only way you can help people, only way you can make money is by talking to them, communicating, whichever form you must do, okay? So that goes to the top of the list. When you run out of people, then go post on Facebook. Go put one of my fun questions out there. Ask, there's lots of cool ways to find people to connect with. Go work on some fun thing for your party. Do a video. But videos don't make you money either. Does that make sense? They only make you money if someone comments and then you can follow up with them. Does that make sense? Because I know some of you are kind of having an argument in your head with me about it. And I understand. I do. I still love you. But I'm going to drill this into your heads because I want you to help people or make money. Okay? Now, like my friend Michelle here, she's really a great graphic designer. Okay? And I get some of it is really fun and fulfilling because we're women and some of us really like to be creative. But if that's what you want to do, then get a job being a graphic designer and make money doing it instead of not actually making money. Do you see what I'm saying? You can't avoid talking to people if you want to make money. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So now in these 2-hour blocks, you put that income producing thing first. Okay. Then you're going to train your family. So how many of you have little people that you really shouldn't leave by themselves at the house? Like you're like, they kind of need a babysitter, dad home, or like they shouldn't be home, or, really irresponsible teenagers. No, I'm just kidding. But you see what I'm saying? Okay. So one of the great tips, I had movies, activities, things that they only could do while I was working. Okay. So you have a mommy's working. This is like, whoo, this is the only time we can get the Play-Doh out, or the only time we get to watch this one movie, or only time whatever it is, okay? Now, sometimes if they're really little, it might last an hour, and then we might kind of lose it. But if you will do it over and over again, the time will expand. They will age. Dad'll come home, whatever. They'll nap, part of it, okay? If you're creative and want it bad enough, you will get to a point where it gets consistent. I'm not saying it won't happen the first time, but it will happen the first time. Sometimes it doesn't, but you grow that time, okay? Now, if they're teenagers, like my kids know, like they never interrupt me. It was really because somebody was at the door. But they know, like they watch, and as soon as y'all are gone, that door busts open, but they don't do it until everybody comes is gone. Like this, like never, I'm like, what? Like never interrupt me. The teenagers know. They don't come in until it goes. But the other thing you can do is set alarms. Set alarm on the kitchen stove that when that 2 hours is up, we're going to McDonald's for an ice cream cone. Or we're going to sit down and watch one of our favorite episodes of Netflix together. Or read a book or whatever it is. Okay? If your husband, does anybody know the 5 love languages? Does anybody have a husband that's quality time? Do you know what I mean? Okay, the 5 love languages, there's the quality time. Okay, I have a quality time husband. Okay, I like to work. It's really bad. But if you have a quality time husband, same thing, set the alarm, okay? He knows when it goes off, he'll go watch his favorite football game or whatever. And I like football, but I just really like to work. Okay, so you do those kind of things, but keep those agreements, and they'll support you better during that time that you're working. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any light bulb moments in there? Any bings? Okay. Alrighty, so a couple other things that you want to do. This is one of my favorite tips, okay? So, how many of you use private messaging on Facebook to connect with your customers? Who's a Facebook Messenger? Y'all message me, like, where they all come from. Okay, so this is what you do, and this is like so hard, but if you will practice this, it really pays off so you don't like live at the computer and your butt's the shape of your chair kind of thing, okay, right? So you sit down with your list of people you got to message, and there's all these different reasons you're messaging them. There are income producing people, and you send out 12, 15 messages all at once. Then you turn off the phone, you turn off the computer, it'll start binging, they'll start replying. You don't reply, you walk away, and you go spend an hour with your kids, or you do the dishes, or you change out laundry, or whatever you got to do. And you let the messages build up, and then you come back to it, and then you reply to a whole heap load of people at once. Because you all know, if you're sitting there waiting for someone to reply, you start scrolling. Guilty, right? Who's done that? Okay. There's a couple other ways to kind of avoid that. One cool thing about your phone and Messenger is you can open just Messenger and then you don't scroll, right? Okay, so that's one way to kind of like minimize, like kind of shrink the temptation a little bit, okay? Or the other thing I'll do is I'll kind of show you here. Gotta find, I get to the right screen. Hang on 2 seconds. Computer's being sensitive because it's hot. All right, so on Facebook, the other thing I'll do to try to keep myself from scrolling so much is, when you go to messages, you can hit see all. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Here, I'll show you. I mean, I know you know, but you may just never like set it like that. Sorry, my computer's moving really slow. Come on, work with me. Okay, so when you go here to Facebook and you go to your messages and you go down here to see all, the nice thing is when this is open, okay, then the cool thing is it's popping up. There you go. This keeps me from scrolling if I keep this screen open instead of letting the little things pop up down at the bottom. Okay, so another way to keep yourself from doing that is to stay here and not go over to the scroll area of Facebook. Does that make sense? Okay. The messaging, if you only message one person at a time. Now, for those of you who know a little bit about my messaging program, okay, how I message and how I ask questions, it does take longer, but you sell 2 to 3 times as much per person. So the key is to have 3, 5, 7 conversations going on at once. So even if it takes an hour, you just closed 5 deals instead of 1 deal. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay. So it really makes a huge difference. So don't have just one conversation at a time. You've got to be diligent to look at who you're messaging, because you can accidentally message the wrong person if you're not paying attention. Guilty, been there, done that, right? Okay. So make sure that you're paying attention to that. But otherwise, it works really, really smart. Okay. Now, the other things that really save you time, if you have questions that you ask really frequently, you can, if you have an iPhone, you can go to your keyboard settings. Okay, so I'm going to try to say that slow enough so it makes sense. So you go to your keyboard settings and you can do short codes. Okay. You can put in like QT1, like question tree 1. You can put in like these different things in there. Or if you have a Samsung, you download an app and it's called Text, T-E-X Expander. And you can do that. If you like to communicate on Facebook or on your laptop versus your phone, you can totally do that. Okay. And it is called Text Express, I'm pretty sure. You can Google it. And there's a way to like save all your, and you can have like a couple sentences. You can have like a small paragraph, okay? And you can put all that in. And that's another way to save time, is to have your most frequently asked questions in there. Okay, so it's really, really cool. And it just takes about 30 minutes to input those. And you can put, like, if you have recruiting questions, you can put those in there. If you have booking questions, if you have instructions that people should do for different things, you can put those kind of things in there. But there's a lot of cool ways to like maximize your time on that. Okay, that makes sense? Okay, now a couple of, let's see here. Another thing that I really suggest, okay, so I'm going to tell you this little story about myself. So I've been with 3 different direct sales companies, and I'm going to tell you something that you might be a little shocked when I tell you this. If you have to choose a book to read to improve your business, I seriously, and I'm really serious about this, I would really recommend you go to more of the oldie but goodies, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Power of Positive Thinking. There's like this whole like network marketing book thing out there, and you're missing some of the purity of sales and connecting with people, and it's so important, okay? So I read a book by Jack Canfield. He's the one that wrote all the Chicken Soup for the Soul books, and he has a great book I love called The Success Principles. And he has all these little tips on how to be more effective in your business. And one of the things he said is that you should cut everything out of your life in your business. I mean, I don't mean people and people you love, but busy activities that isn't income producing and isn't helping you accomplish your goal. Well, my first company was a scrapbooking company, and that company, you know, it's crafts, right? We're girly and we're creative, and you know, we didn't have Facebook, we had Yahoo groups, okay? So someone would post a question and then we'd all like put our 2 cents and share our ideas. Well, so much time was spent around product knowledge and 16 different things you could do with one piece of paper and all this kind of stuff. Well, I needed to make money, okay? Like, you can only show so many ideas at a party. You only need 3 ideas, not 16, okay? So I figured, and I had worked really hard to be in some of these groups because they were groups of people that were the top leaders. They were the groups, people that earned trips. Like some of them were, it was a privilege to be in those groups. But still, there wasn't enough talk about business for me. And I said, okay, I'm going to not participate in these groups until I hit certain goals. I'm going to work my butt off. And I'm not going to spend time there. I would go there maybe once a month if I needed an idea. But still, most of the time it was talked about more product knowledge than it was business knowledge. So I took this challenge to cut that out, which one, it's a habit, and two, it's people. So both of those things are hard. And I didn't. I went to work, and that year at convention, so I built a big team. We had a lot of growth. And there was this award. I remember them saying, okay, this award is for the person who had the most frontline recruit. So it was like you helped your team start building their own teams. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to shoot for that next year. And they called my name. I'd won this award that I didn't even know existed because I just got really serious, okay? I didn't spend time on things that didn't make me money or didn't grow my team or didn't help my team, okay? So I have a challenge, and I know some of you are going to be like, cool, and some of you are going to be like, ah, okay? Like, I know some of you are not going to like me for a minute, but you'll like me when you have the end result. Seriously, turn off all your groups. If you have 2 that have business builder information in it, and maybe 1 that you're either managing or people are inspiring, none that there's piss and moaning in, oh my gosh, get out of all of those, okay? No negative energy. But eliminate, seriously, cut down on all the groups and stuff you're in. You do not need all those. I'm dead serious, okay? Go get your books, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Go for walks, listen to your books on tape, do your 2-hour blocks, focus on the things that make you money or the ways you can help more people. Don't spend all that time in all those groups on Facebook. They're not that helpful. You know there's more gossip in there than there is anything else, okay? You know it, okay? And it's fun to have girlfriends, and it's fun to chat. But that, I promise you, you don't see the big leaders spending a lot of time in there, do you? Whether it's diamonds or it's blacks or, you know, whatever the top level is in your company, you know you don't see them in there chit-chatting. True or not? Okay? Don't do it. Change that habit, and it will make a huge difference. Focus on basic sales techniques, the ones that are oldie but goodies, okay? Go back to those books. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, and you probably, some of you love this book, but why are we trying to be badasses instead of these amazing women who love and care about people and are trying to change the world and just trying to better fit our families? Why do you have to be a badass to do that? And I'm sure the person who wrote it had good intentions, a very nice person. I'm just saying you can be a really nice, amazing, authentic human being and make a heap load of money and change a lot of lives. Okay? Go read How to Win Friends and Influence People. There's no way that guy would ever use the term badass in it. Okay? You don't need to do that. You need to be kind. You need to be genuine. Learn how to ask the questions I teach you to learn because it shows how much you care. Okay? That's what builds businesses, my friends. And I'm really passionate. I'm crying, like so passionate about that, okay? It's really, really important. You don't have to do that. You don't. You absolutely don't, okay? You need to be strong. You need to be consistent. You need to be disciplined. But you don't need to be unauthentic or not feminine. Does that make sense? Okay? All right. So my last thing I want to show you real quick is a chart that I like, and I'll tell you how to get access to it. So part of the thing is, and your hearts are in the right place. Like, this is the thing. You all care far more about people than the person at GNC or the person selling makeup at Walmart, or the person selling wine at just the liquor store at Costco. You care way more about the people that you're taking care of than the people just at, any store getting paid hourly. Okay? So make sure they know that, because you're showing up and you're being consistent, and then the questions that you can learn to ask. So let me show you how this works, because it's really fun. And when you just learn to make little habits, and you make one new one and another new one, and you'd be surprised over a year what you can accomplish. Okay? So I'm going to show you how this little chart works. So I need a couple of you to unmute yourself just real quick. So let's ask our $3,000 one. So Layla, Brooke, and Latoya, I want to hear from each of you, and if you hear yours said, make up another one. I want to hear from each of you one habit you want to make in May for your business. What's one solid habit you want to make in May? So Brooke, go for it.
Consistency.
So define like what that action will be. Consistency in what? Because that's what we're talking about is consistency, but what?
Well, I multitask all the time, and I need to stop doing that. So,
We just call it 2-hour blocks then?
2 hours is a really long time. Could I do 2 hours?
If you got a job working 8 hours for somebody, would you look at them and say 8 hours is a really long time?
Probably. Okay. No. Okay. So you do 2 hours every day?
No, not necessarily, but in a 2-hour block, you need to do several a week.
Yeah. Okay. So I could do 4 2 hours, 4 2 hours a day. 4 days, 2 hours.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. That's all I needed to know. And you can change it later. We're not going to call you out. Latoya, what's your habit you're going to form?
It would have to be more face-to-face interaction with my customers.
Awesome. So will you do that in a party or a one-on-one?
Well,
What's your product?
I would say both. My plan though was always to do one-on-one interaction, but I just kind of fell short with that. I started doing social media again, and that's not working well.
What is your product, Hen?
Paparazzi jewelry.
Paparazzi. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. So perfect. So let's say you're doing one-on-one. How many one-on-ones do you want to do a week?
Hopefully I could do 10, which is 2 a day, 5 days a week.
Perfect. So, and you could even combine, if 2 were friends, you could do it in the same hour.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to connect with 10 people a week face-to-face.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. And Layla, is Layla still on here?
I'm here.
Oh, sorry. You're right there by me, and I'm looking down here instead of top. Okay. What will be your habit, Layla?
The 2-hour blocks, I do that a lot anyway, but I want to do more one-on-ones. I'm trying right now. I'm trying to do more one-on-one.
Humor me and give me something the other two didn't say.
I need a lot more personal development is one of the things that I need to focus on.
Okay, so let's
read a couple books, but not enough. I need to do more videos, personal development videos.
Okay.
That's something I can do while I'm sitting there at the school.
Right. Okay, perfect. All right, so let me show you how this works. Okay, so I'm going to screen share here, and I'm going to tell you, this is really fun. Now, there's this other thing in the motivational style. Some are what are called consistency, and some are variety. Now, you're going to laugh. People ask me, why aren't I not in direct sales anymore? And this is the biggest reason, because I'm such a variety person. After I figure out how to sell something, then I get bored and I want to sell something else. So it's getting me in trouble, because you can't make very much money if you have to stick with it for a while. And it's not the only reason, but I really love to change things up. Well, I get to talk every day. I get to talk about wine and then makeup and then jewelry, and I get to change it up all day long. So that keeps me happier, and I love what I do. So some of your consistency, though, want to get up at the same time, want to have your coffee at the same time, want to exercise at the same time. Your kids are on a schedule. You probably put your babies on a schedule. I didn't have my babies ever on a schedule. Okay, so all of us are different. Some of us love routine, and some of us love variety. So this is very beneficial for both. I'm going to tell you, the consistency people love this. The variety people, it's like, kind of like If You Change the World versus Money and Titles, okay? And that's okay. But if you'll just give this a try, I will tell you how to make this a little more emotionally easier if you're variety, which I am and I like totally relate to, okay? All right, so the first thing that you do with this thing, this says fill in days of the week. Now, what we did is we left these blank so you could fill them in, because a lot of times when people like were working with me, for example, if their mastermind time was on a Tuesday, they would want their first day to be Tuesday of the week. If maybe you work a job and your weekend really is a Wednesday and Thursday, maybe you're a nurse or something, or maybe you love Sunday as the first day of the week and some of you love Monday as the first day of the week. It just made it so you could customize this any way you wanted, okay? So you fill in your days of the week here. Then we're going to go over here, and this right here is daily inspiration. So this is also personal development, like Layla was talking about. So you definitely want to do that 5 to 7 days a week. Okay, now there's a million ways to do this. There are amazing books, like if you love to read, awesome, read yourself away. I don't sit down and read, but I do listen to books on tape a lot. Or tape, sorry, it shows you how old I am, but on my little device here, okay? Or in the car, cooking, doing my makeup, whatever it is, okay? There's always a way to be listening to a video, a book, a podcast, okay? And then getting coaching, obviously, but you want to have that daily inspiration, because this is hard. The highs are higher, but the lows are lower, because you take things personal. You don't take it personal if somebody doesn't buy milk and you're working at the grocery store. You take it personal if they don't buy your eyeliner, okay? So the highs and lows are a little bit higher and deeper. So you've got to have that daily motivation to keep going when there's a disappointment, because there will be disappointments, but there'll be really cool things too. Now, the next thing is, we talked about goals. We talked about very specifics, meaning you have your monthly goal and you break it into weeks, okay? Like, this is incredibly important. And you see, like, this is just next to my desk right here, okay? See all those Post-it notes? And there's boxes, there's Post-it notes all over this house. These were on sale. Oh my gosh, these were an awesome deal at Office Depot, okay? There are Post-it notes everywhere. But you put your weekly goals on those and you review them every single day. Deliberately stop and review your goals. I also have a bunch of fun ways to put them together. Can you see this banner? Like, I'm playing a little Vanna. Guess what's on my banner? Goals, okay? They're all over our house, okay? So there's a lot of fun ways, but you need to stop and read them and take them in on a daily basis, okay? So what you do is down here at the bottom, you're going to put how many days a week you want to accomplish that. So this says 7. You could put 5. You could put 6. You could put 7. And then you're going to mark it off based on the day you did it. Check! And you add them up, and we're going to compare how much you got done versus what your goal was for the week, okay? Now, so this says practice speech. We're going to call this a 2-hour time block. So Brooke talked about that consistency, 2 hours of working. We're going to put this in here, and she's going to put down here 4, because she said she wanted to do it 4 times, okay? And then she'll check off the boxes that she wants to do. Now, if you're consistency, you're going to go, okay, I'm going to do it every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Or every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'm going to have a 3-day weekend. For those of you who are crazy like me in variety, I might have 2 on a Saturday and do 4 hours. I might have 1 on a Wednesday morning, 1 on Thursday night, and, you know, depending on what my kids have or what's going on. If you're variety, you can move those. It's just that you have to work the 8 hours. Does that make sense? When they told you come sign up with this business, you have flexibility. It's not flexibility on if you work, it's flexibility on when you work, okay? So if you're consistency, get it in your routine, do it at the same time every week. If you're variety, just make sure you schedule it in every week, set alarms, set timers, set reminders, okay? Make it go off so that you create that habit and you make sure you put it in every week. It's not negotiable, rather not you work it. If something comes up at that time, if you can move it to another 2-hour time in your week, you can move it. But if there's no other way to move it, no. Whatever that is they're calling about, unless the house is on fire, you say no to, and it will pay off in the end. Okay. Then who was it? Oh, Latoya talked about one-on-one face-to-face. Okay. Now this is what's fun. This is the difference between variety and consistency. So this right here says new contact. We're going to pretend this says face-to-face contacts. All right. So she said 10. We would put 10 down in here. Now she could do, if you're variety, you'll love this idea. If you're consistency, you're going to want to hit me. But she could do 5 one day, 3 another, 2 another day. She can do them in a group. She can do them one at a time. Okay. For the person that's consistency, they're going to go, no, I got to do 2 a day, 5 days a week. And that's what makes you happy. But do what feels right. It's just you have to do something. Okay. So now these over here are things that are just like once a week. So it might be your weekly date planning session. It might be your date with your husband. It might be scheduling all your post and sent share. You can put all sorts of things over here. Okay. So what you do is you add up all the points, the expected points and the actual points, and then you divide them, you get a percentage, which, sorry, I think that's the math. And even if it's 20%, you did something towards your business. But you can compare it to your sales and go, wow, I did this much in work, it got me in sales, or got me more than I thought it would. Or it could be, oh my gosh, I did this much work, but I only got this much in sales, I got to up my game. You can start comparing your results with your actions, and then you have a more solid, this is what I have to do to make it happen. Because do any of you go, I'm not really sure how much work I have to do 2,000 in sales in 1 month? Is anybody like just kind of not really sure what you have to do X amount of dollars in a month? Okay. And everybody is a tiny bit different. Some of you are more comfortable with people. Some of you have more training. Some of you have more experience. Some of you have more contacts. There's a lot of variables. Okay. There's not an exact number. I have some kind of rough guesstimations that I can start you with, but you can compare the work you did with the amount you made, and you can start knowing exactly how many hours to work and when you're done for the day. Wouldn't that be great to know when you're done for the day? Do you ever just keeps going through your head? Okay. So there's so many amazing things you can do. I am telling you, your sales can skyrocket with consistency, with setting alarms, setting work times. Get your calendar out, okay? Put those work times in there, highlight them, make them absolutely sacred. Put the reminders in your phone with a totally different alarm, so you know that's like, woohoo! We're gonna go talk to somebody, do some sales, okay? That is your precious time. Okay, you can do this. It takes grit, but I want you to think about this. When is the last time you either worked really hard, let's say you, I don't know, ran a 5K, or you lost 20 pounds, or you worked really hard and saved $1,000, or, maybe you did sports even now or in high school and you worked really hard and accomplished that goal. When's the last time you just did something really hard and it was all over, you just felt empowered and you're like, okay, if you've had a baby, hello, right? Is it kind of empowering after for some of you, maybe yes, and I'm really weird. I like birth stuff, but you know what I'm saying? Okay, this is the same thing. Not every ounce of it is fun and feels good, but dang, if you got a check at the end of the month for $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, how crazy cool would that feel? 10, 12, I need my toes up here. How awesome would that be? Somebody else is doing it, ladies. In every single one of your companies, it doesn't matter what the company is. Every single one of your companies, there is someone making a heap load of money. And it is not just because when they got in, it is not because they're more outgoing. It is because they were consistent. They you will make mistakes. And you'll learn from them and you'll just keep going. And I'm going to tell you, go read Failing Forward and you're going to love it, okay? It's awesome what you can do. And you just learn and you keep going and you put the hours in and you get better and more effective at it. And the sky is the limit. Okay? I want you to know that. I want you to have hope, but I want you to work smart. Okay? Quit multitasking. Quit being involved with groups that don't make you money. Quit taking time on things that in 10 years from now you're going to wish you hadn't. Okay? Really, really, really maximize what it is you can do. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. You are amazing. So I want to hear from you really quick your aha moment. I want to hear 5 what you're going to do different this week and for May. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how you can have some daily inspiration, where you can get the tracker and all those kind of things. Okay? So 5, unmute yourself real quick. Stop scrolling. Yeah, Krista. Nice job. Oh, okay, here's a really cool idea if you got to scroll. So it's really good to comment on like your team members and your clients. Oh, you had a baby. Oh, I see you moved. Oh, I'm sorry you're sick. It's really good to do that. You put them all in a list in Facebook. You can click on that list and only their stuff will come up. And you can like it and comment it really fast and set a timer and then get done. Does that make sense? You know how to create a list? If you don't, just go to YouTube and go, how do I create a specific list on friends? Okay? And my friends list. So that's another way to save time so you're not like going through other people's stuff you don't want to go through or unfollow them. Okay? All right. So what other? I hear some open. Go ahead, Kate.
I don't have any goals yet because we have no idea what the hell we're doing. So
Okay.
I'm going to actually sit down and try and figure this out and set some.
Awesome. Fabulous. Brooke, did you have one?
Well, yeah, I need to move my office away from my computer because I'm much more, I'm better when I don't have this thing that I'm staring at. So I'm going to do that. I sit on the kitchen table and I think, I should really move my office out here. So I'm going to do that for my 2 hours. Just move it over there.
Awesome. Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
Cool. What other aha moments? I see. Christy, do you have an aha moment? And Michelle, you're next.
Yeah, just consistency. My kids think that I work all of the time. So it's just that 2-hour block, and I need to wake up early. I hate waking up early, but that's when my kids are asleep. So I need to wake up early for those 2 hours.
What time zone do you live in, Christy?
Yours. I'm
You're
up in Bonner.
Pacific? Okay.
Northern Idaho.
Northern Idaho. Okay, so you know what? Oh, I know who you are now. Okay, so honestly, like this is hard, but it pays off. If you get up at like 4 is really crazy, but 5 a.m., all of East Coast people are up, and I will wake up at 5:30. Like if I send a bunch of messages out at night, I will have 12 messages for like, I'm talking 5:30 in the morning my time, and the kids aren't up.
I can help wake you guys up. East Coast.
I know y'all love to message. Like, did you wonder what time zone I was in? But I don't turn my phone on. It's totally okay. Like, you can message me at any hour. But yeah, it's amazing. Like, I knew a gal with Unique who was in Oregon, and she got up at 4 a.m., which I'm not suggesting you get up at 4 a.m., okay? But if you really want to go for it, and she just made all her business on the East Coast, because then she could work all morning till her kids got up, and she was working with all these East Coast people, and it was like really cool. So, and the thing is, then I work with people in Australia, and a lot of your companies are in other countries now, and that's a whole nother time zone. So it's pretty cool what you can do. It's pretty fun. Okay, cool, Christy. All right, Michelle, you're next. And then Renee, did you have something? I saw you were unmuted. Go for it, Michelle.
Now I lost my train of thought. What was I going to say?
The thing you're going to do for May.
For May,
Your aha moment.
I need to walk away from some groups because I may or may not be a part of over 100 Facebook groups.
We won't call you out on that.
Yeah, I may actually be the admin for at least 15. but yeah, time to let go. But the other thing is I need to get back on track. I worked my tail off 2 years ago with you and accomplished a whole heck of a lot. And I'm this close to reaching one of my huge big goals. We should have keys to our house in the next week.
Oh,
And
wow.
crazy awesome. But in the process of that, I've let some of my business stuff slide. I haven't been focused. And so I need to get back on track and keep filling out my charts, because I kicked butt before and I need to do it again.
Yeah, you totally can do it again. That's what's so cool. When you've done it once, you know you can do it again.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Renee, did you have something? I just saw your thing was muted. I'm not like trying to call you out, but that's my signal for you to.
Okay, no, you didn't call me out. Mine would be the 2-hour blocks too, because I am on the East Coast and I do wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes I don't go to bed till 9 or 10 o'clock at night. So I don't know how to shut my businesses off. And I think the 2-hour blocks and setting reminders would help me a whole lot. And then that form that you just shared, one thing for me is, inconsistency wise, is I'll get those forms and I'll start them, but I don't keep it and make it that habit. So putting that up and doing something like that, I think would be good goals for me, as well as the aha moments.
Cool. And that's the
Maybe
thing.
I will work 24/7.
Yeah. And honestly, ladies, it's okay to walk away from messages and let them pile up and come back and answer them. You don't have to answer them the minute they send it. I know it's tempting to think you do, that you might miss out on something, but I promise you, they go put their kids in the tub. They go start the dishwasher. They go, do something at their job. It's okay. They'll message you back. Okay. And if they don't, you're not going to close the deal with them anyway, if they were not that excited to wait an hour to get a message. Does that make sense? Okay. Turn the devices off for 2-hour blocks. Okay. Go do your life and then come back. LaToya, did you have an aha?
Yes. I think that I will start using the Messenger app and Page app. And when I do post in groups, because sometimes I will post in groups, I'll use the groups app, because I do find myself scrolling a lot on Facebook. Though.
I did not know there was a groups app. What's wrong with me? How do I not know that? Do y'all have a groups app?
Yeah, the groups apps, the Pages apps. There's a lot of apps. Facebook ads also have an app too.
Wow.
So it's a lot of ways for us to be more like constructive, like you said, and not get caught up in like what's going on, on the fun side.
But yeah, you can definitely, it doesn't hurt to unfriend a few people or unfollow them at least. But make that list of people who are really important for you to connect with. So you do comment and show that you care about them as people. Okay. So that does help. Awesome. I love it, LaToya. Any other aha moments? Do we have another one? Did you have?
Yeah. Yep, I do.
Who's me?
Heather.
Heather. Hi, Heather.
Hi.
I usually can see the box.
The biggest one for me was actually putting your clients into a little list that you can click on the side. I never thought of doing that. I have that done with my family, but I never thought of doing it with clients. So that's actually a really good idea. Another one was to do the 2-hour block, but I think my biggest thing is I have multiple companies that I'm working for, and to be able to split that up and actually take the time to focus on each one versus jumping around.
Yeah, I bet that's really hard. Yeah, that probably benefit you a lot. Smart. I love your smart ideas. Awesome. Okay, so who is excited? Who's a 10? Is everyone at least higher than a 5? Okay, any other aha moments you're dying to share?
Hey, Michelle, it's Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Hey, something that really stood out to me is, man, I'll work hard for everybody else, but not myself, which is, I guess, just how I'm driven. And, how you mentioned at the beginning is, are you a helper or are you in it for the money? Which, everybody loves to make money, but I think you have to kind of drill down and find out you know what makes you tick. And so when you mentioned like the worksheet, I wrote time card down.
I love it.
Because, like you're punching in the time card, and that's always been a struggle for me. I never really had a problem with that. I was in the military and I worked. I'm a worker. But like it's so hard to channel that in my business mentally, and so that just kind of stood out to me like, okay, you got to check in and you got to fill out your worksheet. So I appreciate that.
Awesome. You're welcome. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple of fun places to connect with me on Facebook. They're totally free. And then I'm going to show you a couple other things like where you can get the worksheet and stuff. Okay, so is anyone not in my group? Is anyone I'll just show you where it is. So I have a group on Facebook that, I don't know. How many tips do we share a day in there, Layla? You're liking all of them. You're always on me. You know what I'm going on in there. So
oh my gosh, there's numerous.
I love my ones who fess up. I have this gal, Shannon. She goes, I'm totally stalking you, Michelle. I've read every blog. I know exactly what's going on, before you do. Love it. So fun. Okay, so you can totally go and add yourself to this group. I do approve the people that come in because we've had too many come in and share porn and all sorts of really crazy stuff in here. So I do control who gets added because it's just joys of the silly world we live in. But you just hashtag CR8 Success, and that's the name of the group, okay? And in here, we have so many fun things. So we'll share with you the next month is all going to be about finding new leads and new customers. It's going to be really, really fun topic. I am really excited about it. So there's all sorts of stuff in here. I'll do Facebook Lives in here. I share all sorts of videos I make in here. There's all sorts of tips. If you don't know about my questions and the fun magic of the questions that we create, that's all in here, okay? There's all sorts of stuff going on in here, just tons and tons of really great tips. So, I tell you should cut down on groups. I hope that mine's beneficial enough that you'll hang with me, but if it's not, then cut me out because I want you to make money, okay? All right, so the other thing that's kind of a fun place to hang out with me, who uses CentShare? Some of you may have met me through CentShare, but a group called Social CentShare, or actually Social Cinch, whoops. I get nervous and then I can't type. Social Cinch Club, okay? And this is a closed group. You have to add yourself to it. CentShare is a fun tool where you can automate all your posts, and they're also really great if you do parties on virtual parties, whether it's in a group or in an event. You can schedule your posts in both of those. And next week, I'm doing a week-long series with them, teaching you how to ask really good questions and get a lot more engagement in your parties. So, and that's live and virtual, okay? So even though CentShare is all about virtual, these tips and the questions you ask, they will benefit you no matter where you're talking to people, but we're gonna put that kind of spin on it when you're doing parties, okay? So here's a couple really good places that are just lots of free information, okay? So now my website, if you haven't ever been here, is called creativesuccesssystems.com. And yes, there's a crazy amount of S's in the name of my company. I'm not really sure what I was thinking, but I liked it at the time. So you come hang out here, okay? And there's a couple different things that you can do. So first of all, if you're not very familiar with me, and Layla, if you don't mind, I'll have you kind of talk just a little bit about what the experiences you've had with me, unless you don't want to, in just 1 second. But we have a brand new thing. It's a 14-day trial. And it's $1, and you can find the tracker in there, okay? It's going to teach you some about asking questions. It's going to teach you more about goal setting. I have really awesome goal setting stuff, if I don't dare say so myself, okay? There's stuff about posting on Facebook and finding leads. You don't have to cold message if that's what your company teaches. I can teach you better ways to find clients without cold messaging, okay? There's some really great stuff all for $1. You have that for 14 days, and you can cancel before the 14 days are up, or then you get access to all my videos And let me show you a little bit about all the videos you can have access to. And then it's only $19.97 a month, okay? So all the videos that come in my program, and you can only get to here if you pay the $1 or the $20, is there's all these really amazing videos. That is not where it was supposed to go. Just hang on 1 second. I might need to log in. I may not know it's me. Come on. The computer's like, you're trying to do too much. See my cute little Lexi, if you don't follow me on Instagram. I actually was patient enough to teach her how to sew. If you don't understand, that's not easy for me. It was luckily straight lines because it was just a pillowcase. The two of us survived the experience. Anybody else feel like that as a mom? Is that hard for anybody else?
I have no patience.
You have no patience?
No.
I homeschool and have no patience. I don't know. There's something crazy about me. Okay, so we have these amazing video libraries. Now, if any of you get discouraged, lose focus, just, you know, don't keep your head in the game as much as you want. We have all this, we call it the Create Belief video library. Overcoming fears, there's all sorts of stuff. Layla, you know, our mutual friend, Miss Rachel, she messaged me today. I just watched all the videos in Create Belief today, and I just love them so much. She sent me pictures of all her goals she had set. Anyway, it just makes you feel good, okay? It gives you inspiration, gives you a spark. You can go back and watch them over and over again. Then we have, this is our sales video library. In the sales video library, we have stuff on current sales, repeat sales, parties. There is all sorts of stuff in there, all stuff about increasing your sales, okay? This one is all about messages, texting or private messaging, how you message someone that you just talking to, someone that answered, you know, responded to a question on your Facebook post, someone who has bought before, someone who's thinking about signing up with your company. There's all these tips. Now, most of you are taught to send this big message, hi, this is Layla with Unique, and the reason I'm messaging is we have this great sale, and these are the products that are so wonderful, and you can sign up with them, and here's the website, and like this big long thing, and then you guys wonder why they don't message you back. Okay, we have a system that gets about 70% of people to respond, whereas that doesn't get very many people to respond, and y'all know it, but they're like, is there a better way? There actually is a better way, and I'm telling you, I've even taught a 70 old man who would sell vomit on his text. It was really bad. I taught him how to slow down, get people to respond. And when you do this technique, a lot of times they bring up product on their own if they're past customers, and it's really, really cool, okay? This one is all about finding leads, both face-to-face. So LaToya, you were talking about those face-to-face, so whether you're finding them in PTA, at the mall, those kind of things, or on Facebook in groups, there's all these different ways to find new clients, and really, you don't have to cold message to do it. So I have some really cool techniques on that. We have stuff on recruiting and team building and getting your recruit started right, so you don't spend a lot of time recruiting and then they don't do anything. Has everybody had that before? Like you spend all this time and then they don't do anything, and that's like a yucky feeling. So we have ways to help you teach them how to ask questions so then they have really good success at the beginning. We have, this is called the Empowerment Library. This teaches you how to support your team, how to ask them questions. You know how you get that, hey, I'm calling to see how things are going and check up on you. What can I help you with? Those are the typical questions, but it doesn't always go over well. So we have a lot better systems and really cool scripts for that. If you do booths or expos, I'm telling you, my friends, we have some of the neatest tips ever that get a lot more people in your booth, collect a lot more information, know who to follow up with after, and how to follow up with them. And it's awesome, and it's so fun, and it's really authentic. And then it's not the holidays yet, but, you know, it's going to be. Then there's a holiday video library, okay? So those are what you have access to when you pay the $19.97. When you pay just the $1, this is a PDF, and you get access to these 7 videos, and you can, or it might be 6, maybe I can't count. but you have access to those with just the $1, and there's also worksheets. There's other PDFs in connection with those videos. Now, if you like hanging out with me, which I love hanging out with you, you can be part of our mastermind group, okay? You can instead, you have access to all the videos, but then you also have access to a small group with me once a week, okay? And it's amazing. You bring your goals, you bring your frustrations, you bring the things that you're working on, and I'm going to show you where that is. That's under the Create Success series. And this is where you either sign up for the $19.97, which that doesn't come with coaching, or if you'd like coaching, then you can, it's $97 a month, and there's a 3-month commitment. Now, if you're wondering if that is a good fit for you, okay, what you do is, but you're like, I'm not really sure, I want more information on it, or what all does it include? If you got a text message that reminded you to come hang with me, you can respond to that, connect, okay? So you can just put connect on that, all right? And it will text me back, and I'll know that we need to have a little chat, and I'll learn a little bit more about your goals and see which thing is a good fit for you. If you didn't get a text message, you can message me on Facebook, or you can reply to the email and you say, Michelle, we got to chat, okay? Because I want you to take your business to that next level. The things I taught you tonight, those are all about setting habits, okay, and creating habits. And haven't you found sometimes it's kind of hard to create habits, okay? It's easier said than done sometimes. So one of the things is that when you hang out with me, then I help you create those habits because you're chatting with me once a week, okay? So we teach you all these skills, and it's just a lot of fun. So I'm going to turn the time back to you. First of all, thank you for joining me. I just love hanging out with you. I love getting to know you. I love hearing about your goals. Thank you for joining me. Does anyone have any more questions about those time management skills or any other questions about the program?
I do.
Yeah.
Is that $1 14-day thing going on? Is there a time line that we need to jump on in order to take advantage of that?
Not as of today, there's not. It's pretty new. So we've thought about kind of cutting it off, but right now we don't have a deadline for that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Do it now, though. You want access to those videos.
Someone's been messaging me, and I'm like, I need to make that 14 days and maximize it. So I wanted to look at my calendar to make sure I didn't waste it away.
Yeah.
But I'm creating habits, right? So I should have time.
Yep, you're going to put those terror blocks in. All right. It's Miss Ann. What's going on, girlfriend? You're muted. I'll open your line. Go for it.
Hey, cutie.
Hey.
How's it going?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I've been sick. But anyway, this was an awesome webinar tonight, Michelle.
Thank you.
You cracked the code again.
You're so cute, Ann.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is recorded, right, cutie?
Yes, ma'am. It sure is.
Love you much.
Love
See you Friday. See you tomorrow.
Okay. Sounds
Take care.
good. Thanks, Ann.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Layla, I totally forgot. Would you like to tell them a little bit about your experience with the sales, the questions, and what that's done for you?
Absolutely.
Yay! I love to share. I love it.
I do. I started with Unique in late September of 2015. Didn't know, had never been in direct sales like this. I've always been in either medical office or restaurants. So this was kind of new for me. I was kind of nervous. I had a great sponsor. She worked with me, pretty much every day, and didn't really do a whole much in October, of course. Or September, I should say. October I did a little better. November was my big month. I hit yellow and pink in November. So I hit the first two.
Nice.
I hit the first two promotions in the same month. I was very proud of myself. And then December, January, February, March, haven't done anything. I mean, nowhere near. I do a little bit here, a little bit there, but I started attending all of your webinars and started asking the questions that you were asking. And these questions, so you make them to where they're geared towards your company, or you can kind of take it and make it geared towards your company. That's what I did with some of them. What it does, these questions, what they did is they helped me focus on my customer, not word vomit, not product vomit. The customer comes to you and says, I'm interested. Well, okay, hey, that's great. I'm glad to hear that. What are you interested in? And you start asking questions, because if they're interested in foundation, you don't want to talk to them. So I'm pretty jazzed about all that, because that's my biggest month almost, well, since November. So yeah, and it's all thanks to Michelle and her questions and her time management, and yeah, Michelle's products and all of her webinars, they will help you out if you pay attention and take notes. Did I lose you, Michelle?
Michelle, you're muted. We can't hear you. You got shuffled.
I don't know why I'm muted. I'm sorry. Thanks, Michelle. Can you hear me, Lisa? Is there anything you wanted to add? You'd worked with me some. Anything you would add?
Can't hear you.
Is there anything that you would add to what Layla said? You've worked with me before that you got out of the program. Is my internet being funky?
Yeah, it's really garbled. Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like, yes, I love your questions. And I love the videos. You have a video on text messaging and how that, how all that works. I love the fact, exactly like Layla said, it's not about the products and pushing the products. It's about finding the need of the person and then being able to share what you have to meet that need. I love that. It's so non-confrontational. It's so easy. And you always ask a question, because a lot of times we just leave them hanging. We just say, hey, what do you think? Or we don't even say, what do you think about that? You're just like, so here it is. And they don't respond because you're not asking them a question to respond. So, I loved your program, and I'm about to jump back in. It's just, we are so tasked right now. So yeah, life has hit us this year. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. You're managing a lot. So, all right. Any other questions or?
Yeah. So if you haven't got Michelle's program.
Oh, she just muted. Hang on. There you go. Go again. What were you saying? If you haven't got the program?
Oh yeah. I was saying, if you have not gotten Michelle's program, you need to do it. You need to do it. It's so worth it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes.
So we have a lot of fun.
You're welcome. And your voice is garbled. I don't know what's going on. We love you. We can see your face.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. You're awesome. Let me know what questions you have. Good night.